a really good explanation. This is the business of football, and folks shouldn't be surprised or upset. Like, this is just how
you tweeted out what I said.
I did. You had a great quote,
and I meant it.
You said that's the business of football. I dealt with it. Art Monk dealt with it. Hell, Joe Montana dealt with it.
Hey, bro, I'm gonna tell you like this: when you get into this league, I want to tell every guy, yes, you should be prepared to play, but you damn sure are obligated for yourself to learn the business side of this game. Because the moment that they can get rid of you and get somebody they think is better than you, they will. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that the guy is better than you, but this is what it goes about. When you sign your rookie deal, you can be playing a certain level. Once you get to that next deal, you can no longer play like you did on the rookie deal because now it may not be good enough. It's basically what I mentioned about. Remember I told you my boy Kenny said he had gotten what you call it? When they give you a better
severance
job.
or something?
No, to give you the better job. What you call it?
Promotion.
Yeah, he got a promotion. I said, did they give you more money? He said, I got a different title. I said, dog, don't accept that. And he said, why? I said, because you can get fired for today, what you do, the same stuff you were doing yesterday, if you continue it. This is the same thing with the NFL. Once you move on and you make that big-time player money, your standards go up. What they expect goes up. And if you're not living up to it on a consistent or better than consistent basis, they start thinking that you're no longer the player that they thought you were. It has nothing to necessarily do with how well you play or not. It has a lot to do with how much more money we're giving you now. So when you get more money, you have to elevate. And if you don't elevate in their eyes, it's not necessarily in the player's eyes or the coach's eyes or anybody. It's what the front office has stipulated what they expect you to do. If you're not doing it, then that chance comes for them to move on.
Totally, B. If you look at the top 4 cap numbers on Washington's roster, Deron Payne's at the top of the list. Has his cap numbers over $26 million. He's got $9 million in guarantees. He would carry a $26 million dead cap hit if you cut him. Payne ain't going.
Deron?
Deron.
Yeah, he ain't going to run.
So for everybody that's saying, "Oh, why not get rid of Deron?" It's math, dude. Yeah. Some of these is math.
The business of the sport once again.
Right.
And I tell every guy, man, I was a union rep. I got as high as executive vice president. And what I learned is that most guys are idiotic when it comes to the business side of football. I would call meetings when I had to teach them something about the new CBA. Nobody showed up. You know the only time they showed up? When they got checks. So only time I would hold their damn checks for weeks until I figured out the day I'm going to do this and I'm going to educate you. Everybody came. You know when I gave them the check? After the damn meeting. And if you didn't come to the meeting, I didn't give it to you. I mailed it to you. So I did my job. So every player has to learn that too. And sure. then you don't get overwhelmed by anything. It's not like I was ambushed. No, you weren't. If you already learned the business, you know what's coming. You know how to expect it. And your agent should be teaching that too.
I honestly don't think this one has any surprises, honestly. If you look at
John, I don't think. I think John is an intelligent young man. I know he understands this. I'm speaking to the fans that are going to sit up here and act like.
I don't even think many of them are surprised, B.
Jay, you don't listen to how fans act. We're going to open up these phone calls today. We'll find out.
Well, let's ask Jeff real quick. While we got you. Jeffrey, you're a big burgundy and gold fan. John Allen given permission to seek a trade. You surprised?
Well, you got to think, JP. My Ashburn syndrome settled down tremendously as I started to study the game more. I'm actually not surprised. A couple of my friends, we were talking at my house, and I was like, yo, because we was talking about the whole Myles Garrett thing. I was like, yo, if we get Myles Garrett, that means John going to have to go, or they're going to have to restructure his contract. Something it's not going to be able to be that much money on the defensive line, and so I'm not surprised. Not surprised at all. And
See,
I'm not.
You got to realize he works here every day. He hears a different aspect. The fanatical people out there. Some of them are. They just
yesterday. Of course, I just think more of them, honestly, were wanted this move, expected this move.
Remember
That's all I'm saying, specific to this one.
We had the conversation yesterday, and certain people was talking about who I like this player, what they do. That's the way people think. Let's be real. Yes, a player that does spend time with the fans, a player that signs autographs all the time, the player that might be from the area, that's all gravy if you're doing everything on the football field you're supposed to be doing. But the moment the team don't think you're playing to the level you're going to play, that means absolutely zilch to the team. The player and the fans love it. The team don't give a damn about that unless you're balling.
Indeed. I don't think this should be – I don't think it's a surprise. I think this is typical business. If you just look at the top 4 cap hits Washington has, Payne's not going anywhere because of math, frankly. It would be a serious cap problem to try to move him. He's guaranteed 9 this year. That now maybe Duran, that gets interesting next year. But as of going into 25, Payne is a D tackle. Terry has a $25 million cap hit. Frankly, no guarantees on that. I would imagine they're having contract talks with Terry.
Yeah, I would think so. Terry performed last year better than he did any year.
Right.
So it's just it is what it is, bro.
If you want to look at the numbers on it, it would be an 11 mil dead cap hit, but you'd save 14 mil. Like you would be on the right side of that thing. Again, I don't expect any of that to happen. I think they try to work out an extension for Terry. I think you pay him around 30 and everybody's happy. You throw some guarantees on this year. You guarantee the following year, the third year, which would now be 27, probably doesn't have guarantees on it. That's just the business of football. Next on the list is John Allen, about $22.5 million cap number, no guarantees. Dude, here's the truth. If they can't work out a trade, which frankly is probably unlikely, if you can't work out a trade, you take a dead cap hit of $6 million, but you save more than $16 million against the cap.
Yeah.
And if you give it this is just math, and it's fairly simple. And then if you look at the next highest cap hit for Washington, it's Lattimore. And he's got an $18 million cap number with no guarantees. I think, that kind of deal for both parties, you just tell them to play on it. Hey, man, we know you were hurt last year. We believe in you. Let's see it. Yeah. And I don't think Lattimore, with the amount of time he has missed, is in a position to seek more cash or seek more guarantees. And I don't think Washington's in a position where they have to offer it because of the injuries.
True. It's like both people, it's like, look, we're where we're supposed to be. Now, if you want to prove it.
Right.
But I wish salary cap, like implications and stuff like that, was all the math, because you'll be an A+ student then. Just
That's what I'm good at.
Simple math you cannot do.
I think so. That's your top 4. And if you want to go down the list, Luvu, they just got done, and he's a bargain at 12 on your cap.
Luvu's going nowhere.
Right. Cosme, they just got done. I mean, these are 2 contracts that got done last year.
Yeah.
Like, those guys aren't going anywhere. Wiley's your next interesting one. If you want to keep pulling the thread, Wiley has a $10 million cap hit, no guarantees. If you release him, is almost $8 million in cap savings with a 2.5 dead cap hit. That's a really interesting one. If you talk about getting better in the trenches, and if they want to sign a tackle, that's one to circle. Because after that is Armstrong, Biotish. Armstrong has a $10 million cap number. He doesn't have guarantees this year, but they just signed him. I don't think that would be a move to be made. And contractually, they would take a big dead cap hit. Biotish has guarantees. Oh, and by the way, they're not going anywhere. And then I was curious what you thought about this. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The 10th top cap number for your Washington Commanders. I think you keep this player around, even though the cap number is about $8.5 million. Fellow by the name of Jaden Daniels.
He ain't going no damn well.
I mean, obviously. Not to mention, that's an unbelievable steal right there.
Of like, I was trying to do it away without saying the words, but I'm gonna just change it up. That would be a category. If you think this, you're stupid.
Right.
Nowhere.
Totally. So a lot of moving parts. It's going to be an incredibly busy